The old Coot here, coming back at you with another exciting video. Hopefully you all saw the video just before this one. I encourage you to watch that one first, and even the video before that one if you haven't already. But anyways, the point of today's video was talking about this company Readywise and how great their meals are. Basically, you just need to add water, right? If you can add warm water or boiling water, even better, and use these as kind of like dried meals that you just add water to, that then you can get the comforts of something comforting like food during that time of crisis. Right now, this is, what is this, September 2024. My heart goes out to the people in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas who are literally about to face a hurricane in the next 24 hours. So hopefully everything turns out with everybody. Nobody gets hurt or injured or harmed or whatever. Let's hope for the best for those people. If you're in Southern California, you never know when a fire or an earthquake or a flood could hit. Literally, residential neighborhoods miles away from the mountains were getting burned to the ground because of a utility company's mistake or accident or whatever the case may be, where literally an entire residential neighborhood was wiped out. Where do those people go? Where do they live? What happens? What if you're in that neighborhood, but your house didn't burn down, and now all of a sudden you don't have gas, you don't have electric, you don't have running water? The list goes on and on and on. You need to be able to drink water and eat food to survive, especially in the long run, and especially if you don't want to leave your neighborhood. Evacuations sometimes are mandatory, sometimes they're not. And it's like, if you are going to stay at home, you might as well at least be prepared for that. Earthquake. What if there's an earthquake, right? Southern California, but also I think earthquakes are happening even on the East Coast now, in the middle of the United States. Everywhere is literally earthquake country potentially. So think about that. Tornadoes, fires, floods. You kind of get a sense of what I'm getting at. Civil unrest is also a big one. You know, what if you're stuck at home and you're maybe on the outskirts of a major city, and all of a sudden now the utilities get knocked out because of some event, whatever that might be, or maybe you're in the suburbs and some civil unrest happens, and all of a sudden now you're stuck and you don't want to leave your home because you don't want to go into the city, and there's nowhere else to go really. And you're just sitting there going like, okay, I need to be able to eat, drink, right, et cetera, et cetera. So part of the preparation is getting meals like this, right? And they do come in these huge buckets, which I'll show you what the kind of bucket looks like. So this is what the outside of the bucket looks like. Emergency food supply. This is from Readywise. Great company. You know, there's basically 100 servings, right? Up to 25-year shelf life. And I'll show you more of what's kind of in these. That was the mac and cheese. This is the noodles and beef. This one here is the cookie dough snacks, right? And then this one here was apple cinnamon cereal. You know, laugh as much as you want to, but honestly, just having that comforting feeling of, okay, I'm in a natural disaster. I'm in some kind of apocalyptic event. I've got breakfast, I've got a dessert, I've got lunch, and I've got dinner. Pretty much, if you can do that, at least that's one less thing that you have to worry about, right? Here's a full list, or kind of like a partial list of what the different items are, right? Cheesy macaroni, pasta Alfredo, some pretty good stuff in here. Brown sugar and maple multigrain cereal, right? Creamy pasta and vegetables. So you kind of get a sense of what's in the tubs and in the kits themselves, right? And then how, you know, there's 100 servings in there. So depending on how much, you know, whatever the case may be. Here's another side of the equation, right? You've got an orange drink mix. So you've got something to add to your water so that your water isn't boring, right? Hopefully, on top of storing meals like this, you're also storing water. Like, that's a huge thing. Those 5-gallon jugs of water, even those smaller, like 2-gallon jugs or even a 1-gallon jug of water, keep a few of them. You know, especially corporate, like think corporate environment. You're stuck in a downtown city, fill in the blank, and the water gets shut off, right? Civil unrest, natural disaster, hurricane, earthquake, fire, flood, you name it. Have some water on hand and have some meals on hand. Even if you can't heat up the water, at least you know you can eat something. It might not be pretty, it might not taste all that great, you know, because it is cold, but at least you're eating something and drinking something. So think about that. And we're going to talk about cook kits here in a minute. But here's some other items that are in these little buckets or tubs, right? Whey milk alternative, just to get some protein in you. Barbecue beans, teriyaki rice, right? There's a pancake mix that's in there. So just different things, different items that Readywise has come up with, right, in these tubs that are pretty pretty small, low volume, right? You've got something like about maybe 14 inches this way by maybe, I would say like 10 or 12 inches this way, right? And then, in terms of the width this way, maybe about like 12 inches or so. So it doesn't really take up a whole lot of space, but you can easily keep one of these in your house, somewhere in the core of your house, so that in case you do go through, God forbid you live in like tornado country, right? Or even hurricane country, at least this thing is still going to be there, even if parts of your house may not. Just saying. But this is important. Having water on hand is important, etc. Okay, so how do you heat these? How do you prep them? How do you do all that kind of stuff? Yes, I was planning on doing this video up in the mountains to show you all some real world examples of like how to get water from a stream and filter it, how to set up your cook kit, right? If you had one of those, something like a little box, right, where you can add sticks or twigs to get those to light, basically, and then you would have a little container or something to boil the water in, so that you just add the boiled water to these, let it soak and sit in the bag for a while, right? Reseal them, close them up, just so that the water can hydrate and also heat up the food, and then it's basically ready to eat from that point. Unfortunately, the mountains are on fire right now here in Southern California. So that's another thing. Think of all those people that lost their homes in all these fires here in Southern California that have been going on. It's a tragedy. You never know when a disaster could hit, some kind of an apocalyptic situation. So I will get to those videos soon. If you've seen the other backpacking and camping videos that I've done talking about like the cook kits that I use and that kind of vibe, think isobutane stoves, right? Anything backpacking, camping related that you can just keep in a tub similar to this, or even a bigger tub. Everyone should have that tub somewhere. That's just, maybe not right next to the front door, but at least easily accessible. It'd be nice if you had like a basic cook kit in there, some water. Big bottles and small bottles are nice. That way, if you have to like do a little day trip, an excursion somewhere to try to find a resource, try to find out what's going on, talk to your neighbors, talk to your coworkers, talk to whoever's in that immediate area. You should have like smaller bottles of water and bigger bottles of water to be able to do meals like this. If you're single, if you're with someone, neighbors, coworkers, maybe there's a group of people that are going to get together and meet somewhere to kind of do that kind of, preparation type thing. It's in some cases, it could be getting home. So you may want to have these like in your car, and have all those resources in the trunk of your car or wherever you can stash them in your car out of sight, right? Where you've got just a few meals to get home with some water to do that. Like I said, if you're unable to boil water and you can't cook these, you can just add plain old, you can add tap water or you can add filtered water to these. At least, it'll be cold. It might not be that enjoyable being cold, but at least you've got some food, some energy, some comfort, some motivation to get home, right? To get home from that civil unrest, from that natural disaster, whatever the case may be. You may even have to abandon your vehicle, right? So that could be a situation where you want to eat up, drink up, and then start your excursion to get home. An extra pair of sneakers or tennis shoes is always a good idea as well. Here in earthquake country, you could be at home for days, if not weeks, before literally help arrives. So you might want to keep the stuff in your house. And like I said, the same thing in a corporate environment. Let's say you're in a corporate environment and earthquake hits, you literally cannot get out of the building. Maybe that's the orientation of your building where you just can't get out. You tried every exit. There's no way out. It could be days or weeks before help arrives to get you out of that building. So you need to be able to eat something, to drink something, just to give you some motivation, some inspiration to basically live for something, right? To get back home, to get to that place you call home, to feel safe. You kind of get a sense of what's going on there. Also, stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to talk about how to use these like on backpacking camping trips. We'll go into that next. But anyways, I'll try to put as many links as I can below there, down there in the description, also in the comment section. Also a link to the Amazon storefront where a lot of this stuff will be. Like I said, I apologize to Readywise. I was going to do a video out in the field and just, it's been a combination of unbearably hot or fire, and I haven't been able to do these videos. So I promise I will get those done. I'm the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting adventure.